Welcome back to another video. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope that this time, the video that we're recording right now, I hope that it records, because the last video I made, the screen record didn't work. But for this video, we're doing a Shadow Lugia raid, because by the time you're watching this, it's probably not in raids anymore. So apologies. Hopefully the video that I posted for that, you were able to get some Shadow Lugias. I don't have the shiny, which is why I'm doing one more. We're going over Dawnwing's Necrozma raids though, because Dawnwing's Necrozma is coming back. I'm going to put it on the screen on the date because, not gonna lie, I don't remember. I'm sorry to tell you. For the raids. But it is coming in the next couple of days, and I'll put it on the screen for that, of course. Oh my gosh. Google told me December 14th. Yeah, that's not happening. I'll make sure I put it on the screen. However, we do have the best counters for y'all, which I'll be going over right now, with the number one Pokemon being Mega Tyranitar. Now, Mega Tyranitar is actually a really good Pokemon for even a lot of the raids you're going to see now, which is Bite and Brutal Swing. Number two being Shadow Darkrai. Now, unfortunately, Shadow Darkrai will be coming after Dawnwing's Necrozma. Is what it is, though. But just note that even though if you don't have the Shadow Pokemon, you can still use the normal Pokemon. However, I always say this every single time. Remember that Shadow Pokemon are better than normal Pokemon. So go for the Shadow Pokemon preferably, but if you don't have it, it doesn't matter. You can still help in the raid. Number three, Shadow Tyranitar with a Bite and Brutal Swing. Number four being Shadow Hydreigon with also Bite and Brutal Swing. Number five, Mega Absol. Number six, Mega Houndoom. Number seven, Dawnwing's Necrozma itself, because it is a ghost type. Number eight, Mega Gengar. Number nine, Darkrai. Number 10, Shadow Weavile. And then number 11 being Tyranitar. Pause real quick, because I really want to see if we do get a shiny Shadow Lugia here. And by the way, you may have seen this. If you didn't, you can get backgrounds on these. And I remote raided, got a background on one of these Lugias. So it would be pretty cool if we do get one. Is it shiny? No. Darn. 2620 weather boosted. Now, the thing with these specific Shadow Pokemon is that their IV floor is way lower. So I saw Tony TM get this in specific. I think he got like a 004 on one of his Shadow Pokemon. It was low-key insane. I have to wait. Yeah, this Shadow Lugia, they're really hard to catch. So if you're thinking like, oh, are these Shadow Lugias hard to catch, or do I just suck? You either are garbage like me, and with me, we're both garbage, or and what I think it is that this Lugia, they made it really hard to catch. Because for whatever reason, Lugia attacks way too much, and for the second other reason is it's way too high up, and it's hard to throw unless you have like an iPad. Which, I mean, this thing, like, this is a big phone. I think it's a 15 Pro Max. So, okay. Scopely, we need to fix this. Come on, Scopely, fix this, bro. Scopely, fix your game. Please, what is that? Scopely, fix your game. Oh my gosh, that's so bad. That's actually like so bad. It's not even like throw the Pokemon after it's attacking, because it's only attacking. Oh my gosh, that's so bad. Oh my goodness, bro. They need to fix that. That's so bad. Oh, I hit an excellent throw. Was not expecting to do that. They need to fix that, bro. They need to fix that. That's really bad. That's really bad. There's no way it attacks that much, bro. Like, Shadow Pokemon or not, bro, that's ridiculous. That'd be dope if you caught. A really unfortunate thing is these have backgrounds. And most of all, I used a remote raid pass. So wasting my money is not cool. I hate when the game does this. They gotta stop doing this. That is so piss poor. Wow. Well, I'm gonna ignore that. L Scopely for sure, but is what it is. I do want to show, at least we got the other Lugia. Cool. This is what the wild area background looks like. Pretty cool. Not going to take away from the fact that Scopely just robbed me very badly. I know we're getting the Safari Balls on wild area, meaning they should be easier to catch. But Scopely, if you're watching this, fix that. Because that is embarrassing. That's really bad. That's really bad. That it literally didn't. It did what, 15 attacks in 10 seconds? That's not possible to throw a Pokeball. You feel me? I get attacks here and there, but that's extra. So the big things, by the way, for the Necrozma is you want to use dark types. So I'm gonna just throw you a lot of good dark types. Oh, before I show you the dark types, I got a Hundo Sableye. Dude, Pokemon Go is being very bipolar. They're giving me some dope stuff, and then they're making me waste remote raids. So I don't know which one, if they like me or not, but super dope to get this because this does have a Mega. So if you go to the dark types, the best ones, Tyranitar, obviously. You want Mega Tyranitar as the number one. Followed up by Shadow Tyranitar. Shadow Tyranitar is super dope. And then we have Hydreigon, which is absolutely amazing. Which, by the way, Hydreigon and Tyranitar are both going to be spawning in the wild area, which is super tough. Which, by the way, the wild area is the 15th to 16th. So good luck to everybody that's going to be playing that event. Weavile is a fantastic Pokemon. Zaru is a fantastic Pokemon. Mega Houndoom's great. Incineroar is decent. Obstagoon, if you feel so inclined. There is so many different Pokemon that you can use. And even if you don't have Dark and you need Ghost types, obviously, Dominguez Necrozma itself is actually very good. But on top of that, Giratina, the origin form, is very, very good. Very good Ghost type Pokemon. Chandelure, if you add the Ghost type moves. Gengar or Mega Gengar. Actually, Mega Gengar is number 8, so I'd hope you use that. Marshadow, if you feel so inclined. Dragapult, if you are desperate for a Ghost type Pokemon to use. I say this simply because I have this little feeling. Like, I feel like some people don't do raids or don't know that even though they don't have like the top 10 best Pokemon for a raid, that doesn't mean you still shouldn't do it. You feel me? Because you still have some type of counter that you can use that will be very, very helpful. You can even use Drifloon if you want it. It has the ghost type attacks. You got that. Now, there's so many different things. Another thing with Necrozma in specific, this is outside of raids that's really cool about it. Let me catch these Pokemon first. That's really sick, dude. I was quick catching the Sableye, so I could have had a chance where I missed catching that. So, dude, getting that Hundo is really dope. It was probably on the recording that obviously didn't save for whatever reason. Wow, it's pretty dope. Unless it's on this phone. No, I doubt it. Anyways, super cool Pokemon to find. Cool Hundo. But the cool thing about Necrozma is you can look up Necrozma. In specific, you have to have the Dawn Wings form. As you can see, it has what's called Moongeist Beam, which if you use it for 10 minutes, you get specific Pokemon that can spawn right at your area. It's basically a lure or an incense. I used to call it the Necrozma Incense. That's actually a really rare Pokemon to find on this. That's really funny that we find a Rockruff as our first Pokemon. I'm actually really curious on the IVs on the Rockruff. Not the best. However, we can actually see, we can click the Necrozma symbol. Or not. Okay, well, usually when you click the Necrozma symbol, if the game worked, shout out Scopely, it will show you the rates on what Pokemon you'll find. So in specific, Alolan Rattata spawns the most, same thing for Clefairy. But then there's cool ones like Munna, Alolan Marowak can spawn, which is a shiny boost. Galarian Zigzagoon can spawn, which is pretty common, which has a shiny boost. As well as Rockruff in both forms of Rockruff, because there's 2 different forms of Rockruff that can spawn. So there's this dark form and then like the daytime type of form. So it's really cool, the Pokemon that do spawn on the basically Necrozma Incense. And that's why I love getting a bunch of Necrozma candy, is simply because, well, I use this ability a lot when I stream. It's super dope. Actually, look at all my Necrozmas. You know what? I don't want this one. I want extra candies. I got an XL from that. Background, 96 background, or 98 background. Hopefully, we get a Necrozma with the background. That would be really, really dope. I think that will probably be our goal, to try and get a Necrozma with the background. Oh, also, Lunatone spawns on this as well. On this Necrozma Incense that you want to call it. So it's really, really dope. There's really cool Pokemon that do spawn. And I highly recommend you guys go for it. So hopefully this footage saves. And hopefully, Scopely, if you're watching this, please fix the raids with how much they attack. And if you want to make it easier to catch, be my guest. That's what it is. I'm glad I'm the guinea pig of this. Hopefully no other people have to deal with losing Pokemon. But from how bad it was for me, I'm presuming a lot of people did not catch some of the Pokemon, which is really awful. I appreciate y'all showing up. See you on the next video.